Want to make a podcast? Spotify's got a platform that lets you make one super easily, then distribute it everywhere, and even earn money. We like that. All in one place for totally free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters, and here's how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and edit podcasts right from your cellular telephone or your computer, so no matter what your setup is like, you can start creating today. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and everywhere else, those other places that podcasts are heard.
Video podcasts are also available on Spotify, and when you want to take conversations with your fans to the next level, Q&As and polls are the best way to get them talking. With Spotify for Podcasters, you can earn money in a variety of ways, including ads and podcast subscriptions. And best of all, it's totally free, zero catch. We've been using it ever since we started How Long Gone. And ever since I discovered Spotify for Podcasters, I feel like having the option of turning off the Q&As and the polls on the user dashboard has really helped boost my creativity and take it to another level. I highly recommend giving it a try. Download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started. Hello, Chris.
That's right, it's me.
That's right, it is you. Good Monday to you, sir. Happy Valentine's Day as well.
Thank you, TJ. It's a beautiful day here in LA. It almost feels like a fall day on the East Coast.
It's an September, October in the Lower East Side vibe, huh?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, a little cleaner in some parts.
Yeah, my heart goes out to those of you listening in Texas. You know, all the podcasters who moved there. There is a big snowstorm going on there, and I want you guys to stay safe in your recording studios out there on the cattle ranch. We are thinking about you.
I didn't know that. I mean, I did listen to a little bit of Tim Dillon today, and Anna from Red Scare did announce that she is 8 months pregnant.
I don't know if that. I mean, do you believe that she's?
Oh no, I know that that's true. Actually, I was told that a while back and kind of forgot, and then she confirmed it today. She released that information via the Tim Dillon vehicle. Yeah,
8 months is a long time to hide your pregnancy.
Well, I mean, there's nowhere to go, so it's like, I mean, she's just not putting pictures of it up, I guess.
I mean, I do follow her on social media, and I feel like I've seen her post photos within the last 8 months where she did not appear to be pregnant. Who knows? Maybe there are TBTs, but yeah, it is kind of weird when you think about it, because like when you're a social media person who uses social media because you have to, it's part of your job, it's part of your branding, marketing, whatever. But when you're, really not the type of person to post like personal shit, but at a certain point you kind of have to post that you are about to give birth to a child. Like if you get into a relationship, you don't have to post about it. If you get engaged, you don't have to do a cheesy photo of the ring. And I feel like a lot of people, like you, I know you would never do anything like that. That type of stuff is cheesy to you. But for some people, even if you think it is cheesy, you still have to do something, because people are like,
well, when you're public,
kid?
Yeah, I mean, the kid thing is interesting. But I don't know, man. Who knows? I mean, maybe she's got a strategy.
I'm cool with it. I like it because, I don't think that we need to show all of our lives on social media, obviously. And unfortunately, we've learned that that's how you become more successful with social media, by showing your real life and what the inside of your house looks like. And
check me out. Check me out on
YouTube.
Check me out on YouTube. Done to Death Projects. You can kind of just a day in the life kind of thing. You know what I mean? You can just kind of see me, doing my thing on a day to day. I have about 5 million followers so far. So if you want to join the
Chris Black kitchen tour.
Yeah, join the resistance at my YouTube page. No, that's a good point. I also like that, but if it all is true, which, like I said, I believe it is. I like that she chose a different and maybe larger outlet to release that information than her own outlet that is quite large.
Yeah, it is a little interesting. I mean, I guess when you get asked a question,
she didn't. It wasn't
really
It wasn't like that. It wasn't. She kind of offered it.
Right. Well, I mean, nobody's like interrogating somebody like, "Hey, you pregnant? You pregnant?" But if you're like, "Hey, why aren't you drinking?" or "Why'd you stop smoking?" or "You used to, do ketamine all the time. What's going on?" and then you're like, I just don't feel like it. And then your friend's like, what do you mean you don't feel like it? You're a fucking alcoholic. And then at a certain point, you have to come clean and be like, well, guys,
That's actually
That's why I'm not drinking.
that is what happened. Actually, she was like, "Oh, I actually had to stop drinking and smoking," and she was like, "Oh, fuck it, I'll just say it. I'm 8 months pregnant."
Cool. Must be exciting.
Yeah, it must be exciting. I hope it's going to really take a chunk of that Patreon money for all those diapers. But you know, I mean,
I think they'll be fine.
Godspeed. Less Prada, more formula. I guess it's your funeral.
People having kids without getting married is becoming more of a normalized thing. I see it a lot more, especially during quarantine. Have you noticed that as well?
I mean, you know, most of the people I follow are quite religious and wouldn't really do something like that. I mean,
most of the people you follow are quite religious.
I'm just kidding. Having children out of wedlock is disgusting and goes against God's plan. But I guess if you liberals want to do that, then I mean, be my guest. You know, whatever.
Bro, us liberals don't believe in God, baby. Did the caveman ancestors before us get married before they had kids? I'm sure they had some type of fireside ritual ceremony, but you know, it had nothing to do with the state of California and the toxic Gavin Newsom.
Did we talk about the woman, just the woman we saw in Glendale when we went to the bank that was just holding? She was like a 65-year-old woman holding like a 8.5 by 11 piece of paper that said like Gavin Newsom.
That said recall Newsom. Ask
me how or something. Yeah, and I was it was just, but it was like on a side street in Glendale. I mean, I appreciate the hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, it was the side street in Glendale, the entrance of a Bank of America parking lot, and just a woman in her mid 70s, with a sign that you truly have to have your glasses on to be able to read. And when we pulled up next to her and said hi and gave her a thumbs up and a giggle, She violently attempted to wave us over. So
yeah,
that
I don't think she'd had. I don't think
the good gospel.
Yeah, I don't think she'd been doing too much chatting that day. I feel like she wasn't getting a lot of biters. But yesterday in Orange County, I did see.
Oh yeah, you went down to the motherland.
I went down to the motherland to kind of tap in with my people, and interestingly,
tap.
There was like a. In like this Newport Mall area, someone had set one of those kind of on the corner. They had set up a recall Gavin Newsom Ask Me How, and let me tell you, the booth was flooded. There was 15 people circulating. There were signs, there were bumper stickers. I believe they were all giveaways. For a small donation, you could take something to rep your set
for a small donation.
But yeah, it was an interesting twist to see the Glendale woman solo, not much attention, but in Orange County, recalling Newsom seems like a big ticket item.
Yeah, and unfortunately, also in Orange County, in my own home city of Huntington Beach, unfortunately, retired MMA star Tito Ortiz is running for city council on some type of pro-Trump, Make America Great Again platform. So, Orange County can giveth and taketh away. If it's one thing they don't like, it is a Democrat or a person of color.
Yeah, dude, I mean, it was being down there it really is a different planet. Although I don't, all the like no mask stuff, I didn't see any of that. It was pretty serious mask wise everywhere I was.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you were in what, Newport? You were in Costa Mesa.
Bro, I touched down. I touched
Plaza.
I touched all corners of OC yesterday, boy. You know what I'm saying? I had to check in with my people. I had to hit South Coast.
Good.
The best mall in the world. They got 3 Louis. Your mall barely has 1. You know what I'm saying? So, I didn't, unfortunately, because of the lines, I wasn't able to go into Louis Vuitton. Also because I wasn't going to make a purchase at Louis Vuitton, I didn't go in. But I did see, and I sent you a picture of the incredible Lunar New Year display.
South Coast Plaza doesn't play with the Year of the Ox, bro.
Insane. It was so cool.
And I don't mean AUX.
No, that's the Year of the Ox is your new mixtape coming out 2021. We'll keep you guys posted on that. But yeah, the Lunar New Year of the Ox display at South Coast Plaza was really cool. It was a giant bull. It was ox, I guess. Excuse me.
Yeah.
A giant ox hung from the ceiling that took up 2 floors that spun around in circles.
Looking like some damn Cirque du Soleil shit, huh?
Very, very Cirque du Soleil, but it was cool.
Over there in Orange County at the South Coast Plaza Mall, they know exactly who butters their bread over there, and they know that Asian people are the only people in Orange County who can afford such luxury items as, something from the Bottega Veneta store or a Marni sweater, for example.
Yes, yeah. I I did. We did check in on the new Tom Brown store.
Shout outs to all our agents.
We checked in at the new Tom Brown store, South Coast Plaza, that had marble walls, which that's really something I'm looking for in my life. Beautiful
walls.
Yeah, the malls, the floor, it all matched. The door marble, everything. It was beautiful.
Luxury is still alive in the OC.
Luxury is still alive in the OC, and a lot of those luxury stores were boasting lines, appointment-only shopping at Hermes and Prada. Honestly, Jason, parking hard to come by. Luckily, I was with a local.
Really?
Luckily, I was with a local who knew where to whip. It was a big afternoon. The like Newport Country Mart thing was really a vibe.
Newport Country Mart.
Like, it was really a vibe. I don't know what it's actually called, but it's that kind of thing. It's like the Palisades. It's the same kind of.
It's an effortless outdoor shopping adventure.
Yes. Yeah, great coffee at a place called, I believe, Hearst, Herst. Great coffee. But just soaked up the rays, tapped in, talked to some locals, some old friends, some new friends.
So you said you could potentially picture yourself retiring down in Orange County, or at least you can see why somebody might
I see the appeal.
to.
I greatly see the appeal. Like, I see the appeal of, like, I mean, it's just one of those things, right? It's like going to the Upper East Side. It's like, oh shit, everything's clean. There's no potholes. Like, it's just a different world, but it's so close to the one it's kind of hard to compute. But don't worry, I also touched down in Santa Ana and realized maybe not everywhere is for me. But overall, it's just an interesting place, man, because it also is like, there's so much money. There's so much money. It just seems, it's baffling to me. In LA in general, it just seems like everybody's rich. It really is different than New York, because I don't think you have those signifiers so glaring.
It's because you're hanging out in the rich parts of LA. When you're hanging out in WeHo, when you're popping into Escuela to get some bean and cheese burritos and a skinny girl, nobody around there, like, it costs a lot of money to live in that neighborhood, and you're probably not going to see a lot of poor people. But you head over to the east side, you head over to the south, you head over to the valley, and you've got a lot of squalor popping off.
Of course, but what I mean is, I think people prioritize in some ways, like, certain signifiers that are very clear that we don't have access to necessarily in New York.
Like a car.
Yeah, cars, like, mainly cars, but also, I mean, all these giant houses and shit. You know what I mean? It's like,
but if you're gonna live in New York, you don't need to have a giant house, because the whole island is one giant house for you to do everything. And the real estate is so scarce over there. We just have more. If you're gonna live here, you might as well get the full experience. If you're gonna go to Disneyland, you might as well go on some rides.
You gotta have the 6-bedroom in Bel Air with the Lambo truck, the Porsche truck, and the vintage in the garage. You know what I mean? I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more. Maybe a motorcycle if you're one of those kind of cats.
Get the Ducati.
It was a big day. I'm exhausted. I was exhausted this morning. It was really a long day. And then my co-host Jason Stewart and I, we did hit Escuela last night and enjoy some Mexican fare in a wind-whipped Beverly Boulevard.
That was my first outdoor dining that I've done in a while. I'm fine with not doing any outdoor dining until the weather gets better, because it was cold as fuck, windy as fuck. Escuela, they're willing to break the mask wearing laws, but they're not willing to buy a heat lamp.
Well, heat lamps are hard to come by right now, I believe.
I'm sure they are, but if you're a restaurant with outdoor seating, you probably bought that shit in fucking 2009, and you just buy a new tank. Propane, baby.
All right, chill out, fucking whatever. What's his name?
I don't mean to narc out.
Yeah, you sound like King of the Hill head ass boy.
I sound like Hank. That was a Hank reference. Good eye, good. I wanted to make sure that I took you out for a proper Valentine's dinner, because you're separated from Bay right now. She's out of town, so I'm the one who's gonna have to love up on you on today's special day. Start
sucking, TJ. That's what I say.
Start sucking, TJ. My whole day is basically, I have to pack for Hawaii. I have to, record and edit some pods, and then the rest of my day is just going to be filled with sucking and fucking.
Jason, why didn't you, if that's the case, and I appreciate you stepping in for Al, but why did you not pay? I don't, that's the part I'm misunderstanding.
Because I'm a liberal, baby. I believe we should all split it 4 ways.
I
pay a quarter, my girlfriend pays 1 quarter, and you pay 1. You have to pay for you and your girlfriend who wasn't there. It's just kind of manners,
I understand. Well, the chips and guacamole were good, though.
Chips and guac were definitely good. Haven't met a chip and guac that I don't like. A little pricey. We're eating Mexican food on Beverly. What are you going to do? Which is fine.
I woke up to some disturbing news. Meek Mill and Tekashi 6ix9ine got into an altercation in a parking lot in my hometown of Atlanta, Georgia, and Tekashi was saying he was going to kill him and calling him a pussy for having security, and then it cuts to Meek Mill, and Meek Mill is getting to this scuffle in a bucket hat. And I just can't. You ain't a shooter if you have a bucket hat on. I don't think.
He's not a shooter. If you have the bucket hat, that means you employ shooters to shoot for you.
Oh,
What
see.
is the official hat of a shooter then, Chris?
I would say a fitted.
Is it a Nocta? Is it a slim build, all black Nocta hat?
I think if you're
lurk in the shadows.
I think if you're British, yes. I think if you're a classic LA or New York guy, it's got to be the corresponding new era fitted
with whatever team.
Yes,
would correspond to your city. Okay,
but it's hard to see those two fighting, because they've had beef for a while. So I'm just, I hope. Luckily, cooler heads prevailed.
I would love to see somebody get their ass kicked by a person wearing a bucket hat. I love the juxtaposition of such casual Mr. Rogers style headwear as you are, being kicked in a gas station bathroom until you plead for your life. That sounds funny to watch.
Well, the coolest part about it,
especially if it is rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine.
The coolest part about it was it's like 18 dudes in a parking lot and it's just bodyguards like hold it. It's just like nothing's gonna happen, guys. Come on. I'm just saying, if I had a bodyguard, I'd be yelling all the time too.
We pull up to Escuela, no bodyguards.
No, we're just regular guys, bro. Like you can't you know what I'm saying? Like I'll kill you with my bare hands, but I ain't gonna pay a guy to do it for me. I'm not there yet.
Why hasn't anyone beat up? At the very least, give a good ass whooping to 6ix9ine yet. Why is he so impossible to get touched?
Because I think he's surrounded by goons.
At one point, will the goon money run out?
You would think so.
I don't know how much money do you think? Because he signed a record deal after he got out of jail, right? Or didn't he get some big advance or something?
No, he's probably got a little bit of paper. But those guys, I mean, dude, full-time security. If you really do have like 24-hour security that travels with you everywhere, that's very expensive.
If he's got a few million in the bank, but he's got he's spending $500,000 on security a year, at a certain point, he's gonna have to Uber Eats all of his meals because he can't afford to go to IHOP and pick up a Grand Slam or something because it's just not worth it.
Can you imagine? I mean, honestly though, after seeing him drink all that McDonald's coffee, I bet he is hitting IHOP for a Grand Slam. Little, his palate's broke, but his wallet ain't.
So what else is going on over here? So I've got my trip to Hawaii. I'm leaving tomorrow morning. I went and got my COVID test in a parking lot at the Long Beach airport where I did a self-administered nasal swab.
I didn't realize it was at the Long Beach airport. For some reason, I imagined it being in some like office park somewhere.
It was like in kind of the auxiliary parking lot of the Long Beach airport.
God.
And I don't exactly know why, but I mean, it was cool. It was so easy. It was so chill. It took literally 4 minutes.
How was the COVID test? It was cool. It was cool.
I mean, it was cool because it's self-administered, and the only not cool part about it is you had to pay. It was the same thing as going to get a COVID test at Dodger Stadium, where it's free. You administer it yourself. You stick the Q-tip inside of your skull for a few minutes and put it in a little plastic tube and throw it into a recycling bin with a hazmat sticker on it. And then they give you a text the next day saying negative because you just wiped it on the outside of your cheek instead of the nose or the mouth.
I was about to say, I don't want to give away the sauce, but I feel like self-administered leaves a little room for TJ to play.
I feel fine. I did put the Q-tip up my nose on both noses. I like the fact that the whole thing took 5 minutes because when you go to Dodger Stadium and get a free COVID test, it's free, but you have to wait in line in your car for like, an hour and a half or some shit sometimes. And that ain't it.
That doesn't sound great. I mean, a lot of car sitting.
Of course, you can put the Tesla on auto drive and then pick up a good book. That's no problem.
Yeah, we know you're doing that.
I am bringing some books to Hawaii, though. I plan on reading, and I also plan on.
It better be the Bible because you need all the help you can get.
I will not be reading the Bible. I will be riding the Bible on tennis serving because I am bringing my racket out there. I found which local court using Google satellite images to find where there's a walking distance court. The hotel I'm at is right next door to a very, very nice like golf course country club, and they have nice courts there. But I think you might have to be a member to play there. So I staked out a local park. So I'm assuming I'm just gonna bring my AirPod Pros, a nice big thing of water, get the shirt off, and then just practice my serves for 2 to 3 hours every day.
2 to 3 hours a day.
What else I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna record a pod. I'm gonna edit it, upload it, and then my life partner is gonna be.
Aren't we?
Hashtag set life all day long. I'm gonna have nothing to do. I'm going to lay around the pool for an hour, but that's going to get kind of boring. And
isn't now? What's the time difference on the Big Island? I feel like it's kind of severe.
The time? No. It's 2 hours behind LA, so it's not insane.
Well, I guess you don't really work, so you're not dealing with the East Coast the way I am.
Well, I am working, but I'm not dealing with the East Coast because I don't have to.
Well, that's where the money is, so that's cute. But I think that
what money? The media money where you can write a story and get paid $300. That sounds awesome. There's no money in LA, no money in Hollywood, no money in entertainment over here. You got to go to New York where you get. The only way that you can have a job is if your family owns like a very large company and they could pay for your apartment.
No, they don't have to own a large.
The only people that make money in New York have fucking podcasts and Patreons. Everyone else, they make $45,000 a year and do some awesome writing.
I love writing. Good to know. Good to know. Not as much as I love the thought of you on the Big Island. Everybody's at the beach, and Jason's just slaving away on the court, knocking the serves back and forth, hitting the wall.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, this is gonna be meditative alone time for me. When I'm all done, I get to celebrate with a shaved ice or a bowl of poke.
Yeah, what's up with the shaved ice? What's up with the shaved ice thing?
I don't really fuck with shaved ice. I mean, it's literally just shaved ice, and then they put like impossibly sweet bubblegum flavored syrup all over it with tropical rainbow colors.
That sounds gross to me. Or is that?
I mean, when you're a little kid, and it's, sure. And it's a hot day, it is like an amazing treat, I'm sure. But my adult palate sees no use for that whatsoever. I mean, you're just drinking water and 11 cups of sugar.
But that is like a big thing.
It's a big thing. I'm the regional local Hawaiian foods that I'm more excited about are hitting the spam masubis, hitting the lunch plate, the fried shrimp with the rice and the macaroni salad.
And the spam masubi is the sandwich, correct? It's like a little
rice.
Oh, yes.
It looks like a large sushi roll with spam inside of it, wrapped in sushi rice, a little seaweed, and then the whole thing is like wrapped in cellophane. You can get them at like 7-Eleven. You can get them everywhere. It's just like what you eat kind of thing on the go. And they are delicious, but it's also like a salty as fuck, fatty. Spam is not good for you whatsoever. But
yeah, that doesn't. I mean, but that's What other local delicacies? Obviously, besides the popular poke, which has been of course stolen by the lower 48 and turned into,
Mm-hmm. I love poke. When you get a real good Hawaiian, I mean, you can just go to like any Ralph's or Vaughn's in Hawaii and just the little shitty deli case, get the poke there. It is just eons better than anything that you can get. Yeah, just something about it. I don't know what it is, but the last time I went to Hawaii, there's a little supermarket called Food Mart. Looks like it hasn't been remodeled or cleaned since 1978. It's just some dump. People are there playing with food stamps. It was not a chic vibe whatsoever. Go to the deli counter, get $10 worth of poke and a bag of chips, and you're like, this is the best poke I've ever had in my life.
Shit. Is it so you think is it the quality of the fish? It's the quality of the fish?
I think it's the quality of fish. It's the technique of making it. It's just, it's like when you eat a taco in LA from a really good taco place, you're like, damn, this is really good. But then you go to Mexico and just go to any old stand on the corner where they've been doing this for centuries. It's just in the blood. It's in the water. It's in their DNA. And you're like, I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. The quality of meat is not better. The quality of ingredients may or may not be better, but it just tastes so much better. It's a whole other world.
I love that. I love when you can't pinpoint it, but it's just better because you're there. Maybe it's the experience.
I guess my Hawaiian bod diet failed, and I'm going to have to now do it in real time while I'm already in Hawaii. Luckily, I have nobody to impress over there on the island.
So you plan to do what while you're there? Just serve with your shirt off, and that's your workout plan? because we're going to need to do a little more than that, sweetie.
What, I'm going to do great cardio in the sun all day, and then I'm going to eat raw fish at night. I'm not really going to be drinking. I'm not going to be eating bad foods. I'm going to be living pretty clean. I'm going to come back looking better than I left, which is a rare thing to do for a vacation. Also, the chances of this actually happening are very low. Most people who live in Hawaii are pretty obese.
Well, they also don't. Now, let's not forget the methamphetamine intake. Now, there are.
Yeah, I think that's a little. I think that ship may have passed.
Oh, really?
I don't know if Hawaii is methy as. I mean, Hawaii is a beautiful island, and I love it. But once you get past how beautiful it is and the beach and everything, there really ain't much to do there but eat. Like everyone there is just.
So you're saying much like in Virginia where there's nothing to do but cook.
Yes, exactly.
You're saying that in Hawaii there ain't nothing to do but chaw.
Yeah, or much like anywhere in the South, as you know, there ain't much to do.
Bitch, we got culture.
Yeah, in some parts, yeah. And it's a mixture of not much to do mixed with, a deep-seated love of food, and also, food being like a thing, a ceremonial thing that you do. Everyone gathers with their family, and it's like a whole thing.
Yeah, that's true.
But, people in Hawaii be fat, and I like that.
So that's
they're fat, but they're gonna live longer than me. You know what I mean?
Well, at least you get a tan. I mean, I guess it could be worse.
I'm gonna get a tan, and I'm gonna get a rock star serve, bro.
Well, look, I'm happy for you, and this is very cool. And
you should be. You need to work on your serve while we're gone.
Bitch, I just bought a case of balls for that purpose.
I can't wait until we're both serving excellently. So I can figure out a new way to beat you at tennis.
Unfortunately, I think the thing with serving is usually one person is doing better than the other, depending on what time it is. You know what I mean? That's
yeah. But if we're both, if we're both evenly matched at the serving, that's going to really create cool gameplay.
Yeah, I don't know how evenly matched we're going to be. Well, mentally, I'm obviously much stronger than you. But that's something you could also.
Okay, great.
That's something you could think about working on. I don't know if you've thought about that.
So you use your impressive mental strength to lose at tennis every time we play tennis?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So it is a game of chess.
It is a game of chess, and that's I think the problem is that I'm playing checkers. And it's just the wrong game. Do you actually, Jason, do you know how to play chess? That seems like something you would like.
I do. I used to play chess when I was younger. I learned how to play chess on the computer. I don't remember exactly how to play, but I'm sure I could pick it up. I want to think of myself as somebody who would enjoy playing chess, but with all the distractions of the world and the internet and my cell phone and Instagram, I haven't been able to pull the trigger and get my little gambit on, unfortunately. I don't know, maybe that'll be a goal of mine this year.
I mean,
my life partner and I will sit around by the fire, clinking bishops.
I think backgammon's probably like a little more chic right now because you could buy like an Hermes set.
Hermes making chess too, bro.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like it's more expensive, maybe.
Yeah, backgammon is having a little moment.
I've never played that. I don't play.
I've seen it on a few of my decks.
As you know, I don't play games. But I don't.
Would you call? I think chess might be considered something beyond just a game.
Yeah, but then what is it? You know what I mean? Like, what is that? What is the word for that? I do agree with you. I think you're right. Chess, the commitment to learn, it just seems very hard to learn. It seems like something that's very, very hard to do.
Is tennis not a game?
Yeah, no, tennis is a game, but I feel like because there's a physical aspect, that's why it gets that classification, maybe.
Yeah, maybe we can invent some type of cardio chess to
every time you
pique your interest a little bit.
Every time one of your men goes down, you got to do fucking 20 squats.
Or women. They got queens. Shout out to all the queens listening. But yeah, there's that. But they're all. I mean, it's as simple as playing chess on a standing treadmill desk. You know what I mean? Like if the Mirror app had a chess function, now we're working out the mental and the physical.
Damn, that's a good idea. You should pitch that.
You're working out the cum gutters and the mind gutters.
Chess has always appealed to me, but I feel like unfortunately I have a lot of blocks where I'm like, if I didn't learn to do this when I was younger, I'm not going to be able to learn it now. It's a problem I have with a lot of things.
Like what other things?
Like almost anything, really. Like an instrument, for example. Like I would love to learn to play piano or play guitar, but it's just I just don't even consider it because I'm like I don't think I could do it because it'd be so challenging because I'm too old.
Too far gone.
Yes.
The other name of our podcast that some people like to say.
Yeah,
Picking up an instrument in your adult life, especially at your age, is a daunting task.
And it's unfortunate because, as you know, I have incredible rhythm. I have a singing voice like, some compare it to Whitney Houston. So it's hard to just understand that, there is
posthumous with Whitney Houston.
R.I.P. Yeah, yes, of course, yes. Silent Whitney Houston. That's how good my voice is. But I really wish I could. I don't think I could sit down and like look at YouTube for an hour and like be bad at something for 5 years. I don't think I could do it.
Well, you seem to do a good job on the tennis court with that.
I knew that was coming. Unfortunately,
you walked yourself right into that, just like one of TJ's nasty slices.
It's like cooking. I'm just not going to do it. This just take the amount of time required to be even passable at it is 5 years.
Maybe with that attitude.
I mean, I don't like being bad at things. You know what I mean? Like most people.
If you listen to Joe Rogan, you would know that is one of the great things that all human beings should be doing more with their lives is difficult tasks that are, that take years.
Joe Rogan, the thing about Joe Rogan is he doesn't podcast with you. So he doesn't understand that I'm doing something difficult 4 times a week. Like it's crazy.
No. Podcasting with me couldn't be easier, Chris.
No, that's true. I mean, podcasting with Joe Rogan is probably a little bit harder, but he has a nice staff that can kind of make it, shepherd you through. No, I think we should. Mm-hmm. I think as a society, or as a person, excuse me, it's probably important to do things you're not good at. But I find it just very. Yeah, I mean,
like
very daunting.
learning the gymnastical art of rings, like. When you look at that, you're like, this shit looks hard as fuck. Just, a tiny Russian gymnast just doing wild ass shit on 2 rings, suspending themselves. The core strength is unforgettable. And you're looking at that like, damn, this is going to take centuries to be able to master that. And you picked it up and now you're there, aren't you? Doesn't it feel good?
Good point. It does feel good. I think when it's something physical, I feel like I just have it in me. Like with the rings, there was also Hunter shepherding me through, being like, "No, you can do this. Like you're just gonna have to. We're gonna, there was a plan for attack. You know what I mean? Where
got it.
And it was a person helping me. It wasn't a video. That's the thing with like. I guess I could.
And you paid money for it.
I love paying money for stuff. Yeah.
I love paying a big motivator.
Yeah, that's true. I guess if I paid for like guitar lessons and bought like a very cool vintage telly. I could maybe, start rocking.
Something to think about.
What if I started rocking? That would be a real twist.
Have you seen Chris lately? He's been rocking a lot.
I mean, I just don't. I guess I'm further along on the drums, but then you have to have a drum set, which is kind of like impossible.
And you're not the kind of cat who's going to get one of those electric MIDI drum kits, right?
No, but I did when I was back in New York. I went to a friend of the show, Bryn Trell's new apartment, and her boyfriend Jared had a sick electronic drum set up in his office. And I was like, this is so fire. And he's like, yeah, it's funny, right? And I'm like, yeah, this is cool.
It is funny. It is cool. And it's probably really fun to just like, all right, I'm going to put my headphones on. I'm going to put on some rockin' record. And I'm going to drum along. My neighbors won't know. All you'll hear is a little pitter-patter on a rubber pad. And you're sweating. The heart rate is up. I'm sure you have your Apple Watch on and you're getting those.
Of course, we're tracking that. Of course. We're closing those circles, baby. You already know the vibes.
How do you know about the circles, Chris?
Bro, I'm online. I would never wear an Apple Watch because I'm not a nerd. And I love, one of my greatest victories in life is making fun of you so much for wearing an Apple Watch that you had to stop. So
the Apple Watch. If anyone wants to buy my Apple Watch, I will sign it.
Because I was like, Jason, I noticed you stopped wearing the Apple Watch, and you were just like, yeah, I mean, you just made fun of me too much. It was just
you beat me into submission. You choked me out until I tapped and it said no more, and I ripped that thing off, and now it's just sitting in a little drawer in my office. I got an old laptop. I got an old Apple Watch. Usually, it is a sign of growth. Because before, whenever I would get rid of an Apple product, I would, sell it or trade it in and use that money to go towards it. And now it's just sitting on ice because
that's how good that's how good the how long gone checks are. But unfortunately for you, I think you're still cheap, so you'll probably end up pawning them.
Oh yeah. I'm definitely pawning. I mean, I literally just tried to get people to buy it from me on this podcast.
No, I wasn't kidding. If you want an Apple Watch, I will sign it. Just let me know.
Speaking of tennis and travel, I've been watching. The Australian Open is going on right now, and the Australian Open, it's happening in Australia, which is a land where life has sort of returned back to normal.
Well, I mean, let's not. Normal is a lot for Australia. It's still an upside down place, but they are able to go see bands play.
They're able to gather publicly without a mask because they had the proper quarantine going on, and they had the benefit of being a remote giant island where nobody could come into freely and openly. But so I'm watching that. I'm in America. It's the dead of winter. It's not freezing cold, but it's colder than it is in the summertime.
Wow, Jason, you're so astute with your observations.
Yeah, I've noticed the winter is colder than the summer.
So let me break this down.
I mean, that was to address people who are like, it's not freaking cold in LA, but so it is cold. It's in the winter. I'm in my house. I'm wearing a mask. I can't go anywhere or do anything. So I'm watching these Australian Open games, and I'm experiencing this weird feeling of like it's pleasurable and exciting and naughty to watch this. It's like it's like you're watching. There's memes about all the people who are hanging out and going to parties and raves and music festivals in Australia while we're at home jacking off in our one bedroom. But I'm wondering that will watching this stuff on TV or watching film, people will kind of watch films nowadays of like pre-COVID content, pre-COVID television, pre-COVID content.
It's so weird to see people without masks. I can't believe it. Right. It's so crazy. No, it's not. No, it's not. That's not crazy. That's what it was like.
I know, but once you've been deprived of that normal life for a year, it does seem kind of crazy. You know what I mean? It's like having braces for a year and seeing pictures of you without braces. You're like, damn.
I used to look hot. Now I have braces.
So do you think that if we're in quarantine for, let's say, another year and we don't get to do any of that stuff, are we going to get so used to watching this nostalgic TV and film about pre-COVID, pre-socializing life, and then have that kind of slowly start to replace our actual IRL activities that we used to do, kind of the way that, pornography has replaced the need to pursue sexual partners in real life with a certain group of individuals?
I just think it's like anything else. There's going to be people who are much more affected by this, mentally than other people. I mean, it's like if there are people that aren't going to get a vaccine, there's people that are going to get a vaccine. There's going to be people that will, like right now, like we have friends that will shame us for going to Escuela last night. You know what I mean? It's like, and there are people who will do that. There are people who won't. It's just like, that's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to be now. It's going to be just another thing to divide us, which is exactly what we need in this country. We have politics, we have religion, and now we have the COVID-19 virus, and how you handle it is, it opens you up to judgment from peers, and it doesn't matter if you're following rules or not. Because everybody makes up their own rules and then tries to impart them on you as their friend or acquaintance.
You're right. I agree with you about the dividedness of it, and that's kind of what COVID has done, dividing the people who are like, oh, I can't wait to go eat in a restaurant. I really want to go to a restaurant, versus the other half of the people who are like, I've been getting all my meals delivered to me on Caviar or from the Sweet Green app. It's super easy. And hey, you know what? I just got my dinner delivered to my front door, whatever I wanted straight off my iPhone. I kind of like that. I prefer that. I don't really want to go back to restaurants anymore. I don't need to go out into the world. I don't need to go and experience the joys of going to a mall because I can just buy it all online. And after a while, there's, I want to know when it's divided into two groups, what are we going to call those? It's going to be kind of like
dorks and cools. That's another thing. So the things that divide
there's going to be like is it like innies and outies? Is it like, these are the people who have, they love the comfortably numb life of living in their pod, having everything delivered to them, doing all the fitness, working from home.
We have to understand that is not good for our mental. Like I don't care if you like it more, because I don't think you actually like it more. I think you're used to it. I don't know if you know what I mean? I don't know if it's like an actual like or not like thing, or if and I don't think this is this is not good. Like, we can't be under socialized as a society. Like, that's not going to be good for anyone. And I think
but that's your opinion, and so you're an outie.
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, you can either listen to Dr. Black or Dr. Fauci. Your choice, Jason.
I wonder if the innies and the outies will replace the political divide. You know, there's the liberals and the not so liberals, and then the people who are in the middle who like to do. You know, I feel like that's how our world and our society is going to be divided.
I think you're
4 years or something.
I think Big TJ, another doctor, more of a he's more of a dentist level. You know what I mean? He got close, but unlike me, a medical doctor could perform open heart surgery, et cetera, et cetera. It's a little different. No, but I think that, I think that I understand, like, being scared, like, and having, like, true fear of this, because especially if you are, susceptible, it's very scary, and there's a lot of people dying. That's like a real thing. But I also think there's a mental component to this that, has been explored to an extent, but I think that is going to reveal itself much later down the line, how damaging this was, the lack of socialization, the lack of like real life, like, contact with humans. Like, to me, that's just, obviously I'm not as susceptible as other people, so that part seems very important to me, because that's how that's what makes me feel good. I choose that as to be important to me, where other people are going to choose, like, no, I'm going to never leave my house again, and I'm going to make you feel bad about leaving the house. Like, go off, but I'm not going to feel bad.
Yeah, but I think that once the kind of COVID scare goes away in the next couple years, I think that it won't be so much of a COVID thing anymore, and it'll be like a complacency, comfortably numb, happy to be at home with, they're prioritizing the convenience of everything being brought to you, your work, your sex, your food, your fitness, all the things that you do.
Yeah, that's true.
Versus the hassle of, going outside, putting on clothes that are acceptable to society, putting gas in your car that costs money, driving to the grocery store, picking out foods, having a nasty person cough on you. You're going to be like, I don't want to do that. Obviously, the prevalence of pornography has not made people stop having sex, but it has affected, a decently sized chunk of the world where, incel people have really grown.
Let's not erase the vocel community.
It's important to bring them
the voluntary
them up as well.
Yeah, the voluntary celibates are as important as the involuntary.
They're just playing hard to get.
I think don't give me a title. I'm just playing hard to get. I think you're right though. I think it'll be like you're saying after COVID has kind of taken a little bit of a backseat, and we have like a roadmap for it, there'll be people who are just like, this is my life now. It has nothing to do with fear. Like, I'm just like, I like this better.
Yeah, I like this better. And all the things that are emerging right now that are making our lives better, they're just going to get more streamlined, easier, cheaper, faster. Amazon 2-day Prime is going to be Amazon 2-hour Prime.
I love convenience, Jason, but I also like, I'm happy to go to a grocery store. Like, I just don't. What happens when you just never leave the house? Like, is that what are the?
That's what I'm curious to know.
Like, what does that actually mean? I don't think it's good for anyone's mental state, but yeah, maybe you save a little money, but hey, you're gonna die, so go spend the money. Like, I just don't really. Yeah. I just don't.
Are we conditioning ourselves for when we eventually all have to live on Mars and there's no other, like, if you walk out the door, you're going to light on fire, Total Recall style?
Jason again. Elon pilled, as usual.
Obviously, the Earth that we're living on is going to be uninhabitable at some point. I don't think it's going to happen.
All right, Chief, slow down. Okay, we're talking about people jerking off too much and using caviar. Okay, we're not. Don't. Did you smoke loud before this podcast? I just want you guys to know.
I did not smoke loud.
Are you going off the morning edible? It's 11:48 a.m. Did you have a morning? Did you put some weed in your blueberry pancakes?
No. This was a thought that I had this morning when I was watching some Australian Open tennis. Caught myself noticing that for the last month I was watching on YouTube just Australian Open matches.
Yeah.
On YouTube, just like, Federer versus Djokovic 2019 whatever finals.
Because everybody's sweating and wearing shorts?
Yeah, I didn't choose it consciously. It just the algorithm fed it to me. It was the Australian Open was coming up, so maybe that's what was going on. But I was like, wait a minute. I'm watching, this match happened a year ago, I'm watching it. There's all these people wearing shorts and t-shirts. They're fanning themselves because it's so hot. People are yelling and having fun. It's super sunny, and there's no masks. And I was watching it and enjoying it, not so much because of the tennis, but just like, oh wow, like this sounds so nice to just be there. Even if I don't like tennis, even if I don't like Australia, like it was. I was getting that ambient TV kind of dopamine hit that you were talking about with your ridiculousness or whatever. You know, it's
or
it's
whatever. You mean a legendary television show, or whatever?
Sir Robert Deirdrick.
Sir Robert Deirdrick.
Your Excellency. You know, so I was thinking about that, and then it was making me realize that, you know, will this replace the desire for me to do this myself one day? At what point will I just give in?
You are cuckish, so I could see you being susceptible to being lockdown TJ who gets his grocery. I actually know I don't think.
Look, I like to watch, but I'm no cuck, Chris.
You're too social. You like to socialize. You like to be out. We're very similar in those ways. I mean, it's just like,
yeah, I am. I go to Whole Foods 5 days a week.
You would literally talk to anyone to feel something. Like you talk to strangers.
Yeah. But even me, who's on that severe end of the socializing spectrum, I don't think it will completely put out the fire inside of me, but how much will it dim the flame?
Dim the flame.
You know what I mean?
I mean, look, it depends on how much of a pussy you are. And, you know, from what I've seen, quite a lot, but hopefully you can withstand this, much like the novel coronavirus. You know what I mean? Hopefully your immune system can also fight off turning into a total pussy.
It's some good pussy under these Arc'teryx shorts, baby. All right?
God damn it.
Well, yeah. I am a pussy in some ways. You know, if you think wearing 2 masks to go out in public, as he coughs. Ugh.
Sorry.
You got it bad. You got Corona 20 and 21, don't you?
I got all the strains, but I'm a collector. You know what I'm saying?
I was also thinking this morning, I obviously don't love wearing a mask, but I am more into wearing a mask now than I was a year ago. And I also haven't been sick in a year, which has never happened in my entire life.
I mean, that's also because you're not doing anything. I mean, so that you're not exposed. I don't think it's the mask. I think it's the fact that you're not.
I go to Whole Foods 5 days a week.
Okay, we get it. You love Whole Foods. Okay, we get it. Okay, it's fine.
No, I mean, I'm saying I go into a large building with hundreds of people inside of it,
yes,
but rubbing elbows.
Yeah, but it's not the club. It's not the gas station. I mean, I think the mask helps, of course. I mean, like I think we've all gotten used to wearing one for sure to an extent. Mm-hmm. I mean, I because of what I'm doing, I don't wear one as often as other people because I'm just not out that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like my mom would wear one like all day long, like for like 8 hours a day. And I think it gets normal very fast when you're doing that.
Do you think there's going to be a point where the United States government is like, all right, we don't have to wear masks anymore?
No, definitely. No, definitely not. And I think there's people that are gonna wear masks forever now. I mean, I think this is like a lifestyle for sure. I don't.
Yeah, I feel like I'm one of them.
Oh no, I'm not gonna. As soon as we're vaccinated and everybody's good to go, like I'll never look at a mask again. Fuck masks. Like I'm gonna wear one now because that's the right thing to do and it's smart for everyone and it's me recognizing the issue and caring for my fellow man. But as soon as it's like we're in the clear, like fuck that.
So at what point will it not be smart to wear a mask?
Oh, never. I think wearing a mask is not bad. I just think it's annoying. I don't think there's any reason not to. If you want to wear one for the rest of your life, I don't think that's a bad idea. If that makes you feel good, gives you peace of mind, why not?
Well, I guess it makes you feel good and gives you peace of mind, not because of just faith, but because of science, I guess.
Yeah, totally.
I'm not going to wear a mask every single day, always, but in many situations when I'm out in the public, I kind of look forward to living the rest of my life with a mask on because I love the fact that I haven't been sick.
Bitch, okay, so you're going to wear a mask every day for the rest of your life so you don't get a cold once a year? I don't believe you.
I said only in certain situations.
Okay, will you stop sucking down those... skinny margs and those American spirits, then we'll talk, because that's what's really going to cause your system some problems over time.
Look, I pick my battles, Chris.
Yeah, you pick I see you eating fucking Wagyu. You're putting all kinds of wild shit in your body, and you're like, I got a little sniffle. I need to wear a mask every day for the rest of my life.
Wagyu, yummy. And also, as you get older, a little sniffle that'll turn into a little pneumonia. You go into the ER, and next thing you know, you're 6 feet deep, Chief. That's what happens when a motherfucker old.
Jason, how'd Jason die, man? He got a cold, bro. I just caught up with him. No, but I do think that people. I mean, I think that.
Look, I've had a cold 100 times in my life. It's
really flexing. You're really flexing a lot today. You've had 100 colds. You go to Whole Foods 5 days a week. We get it, bro. You're popping. Okay, we get it.
I'm putting
TJ,
in big fucking
TJ's
numbers.
the fucking man. Okay, we get it. TJ's the big dog.
When you're a kid and you get a cold, you're excited because you don't have to go to school for a couple days, and then you shake it off, and then you're back to normal. You're good to go. But when I get a cold now in my adulthood, I can't work out. I'm just laying in bed all day. I don't feel like working. I get anxious. I just get tired of being sick. It's a real bummer. And
I haven't been sick.
The list goes on.
I don't get sick really either, and it's not because of a mask. It's because of a healthy immune system that I care for like a delicate flower. Mm-hmm. I do that too. With a mix of hydrating fluids, vitamins that are both capsules, tablets, as well as gels. A strict exercise regimen that allows my body to sweat and heal, and eating a diet of whole foods according to the FDA's food pyramid. So it's a lifestyle, Jason. I think that's the problem, is that your lifestyle is a little unhealthy and mine is just a little better.
But also, mine's more fun and more cool.
Agreed. But
are we on this life to live a healthier life, or are we in this life to have more fun and be cooler?
Well, I had more fun for years, and then I had to stop having more fun because I didn't know when to say when. So you're lucky that you know when to say when, and yeah, you can have a Bethany Frankel skinny margarita whenever you feel like it.
Or 3.
Unfortunately, I can't. But I had 2 churros last night, and you had 1. So I don't. Maybe it equals out, Jason. Hopefully, look, we need each other. So I want you to live as long as possible, and I hope you want the same for me.
I do. Don't worry, you will outlive me. Just because tall people die faster, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. Unfortunately, I wish I was tall enough to die sooner, but unfortunately, I'm just a kind of regular tall.
And I do see short Twitter out there taking shots at tall people dying before them. But, I'd rather live tall and die young than to never live tall at all.
Can you do that?
That's my favorite MIA song, Live Tall, Die Young. Bad girls do it well.
Damn, we need the TJ remix right now, the TJ reshuffle. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but look, hopefully we both live for a long time so we can keep making How Long Gone until we're deep in the grave, because, at some point Howard Stern's going to have to say no to the $100 million from Sirius, and there's going to be some seats at the table. Solange voice.
At some point, Joe Rogan, how do you think Joe Rogan's going to die? Mauled by a bear?
No, I bet Joe Rogan's going to die what if he died from
assassinated?
No, he died from like a brain aneurysm from like lifting something too hard, like too heavy. You know what I mean? Like he'll just like pop his a blood vessel.
I think I'm just gonna go regular old DUI car accident death for him. I think he's gonna get a little.
Does he drink?
I think he drinks. Yeah, I think he'll have one too many Whistle Pig bourbons in the studio. He'll be gone off of a Cuban. He's gonna put his Tesla in freaking insanity mode. He's going to bend it around a corner. There's going to be a horse. He's going to slam on the brakes.
There's a horse.
He's going right off
in Texas. He hits a horse
off a Texas cliff.
He hits a horse in downtown Austin just by accident.
I don't make the rules, Chief.
I don't make the rules either, Jason. I don't make the rules either. And shout out to Joe Rogan. I hope he lives a long time.
I don't want Joe Rogan to die, but if he does die, that's how it's going to be. And
who's going to die first? Who's going to
a little extra money?
Who's going to die first? Joe Rogan or Kanye West?
That's actually a very good question.
I know.
I think Kanye is definitely going to die first. I think he lives his life under so much more stress than Joe Rogan does. Joe Rogan seems to be pretty void of stress. He doesn't read the comments.
Post and ghost, bro, and then we just talk about,
There's a post and ghost. He's in, he takes care of his mind and body. He's eating indie meats like elk, and he's got great vitamins and supplements. Kanye is just a stress case 24/7. He's bipolar. He's going in and out of drug use. He's not getting his exercise. He's turning into a full freak. He's gonna pop. He's gonna pop a vessel in his skull.
He could pop a vessel.
Maybe in 8 years.
What if he? Yeah, who knows, bro? Maybe he won't give Sci-Hi writing credit. Sci-Hi beats him to death with an 808. You know what I mean? Like, it's anything is possible, bro. Like, you never know.
The day Sci-Hi finally snapped.
Sci-Hi finally snaps and kills Kanye West. Like, that could happen.
Cause of death: XLR around the neck.
Cause of speaking of real hip hop, we have a big week this week, Jason. Not only are we releasing, of course, two episodes of this podcast, as well as How Long Gone Radio, which is our music show exclusive to Spotify, but we're also releasing on February 20th. We are releasing the How Long Gone Snap Chilled Coffee with our partner, our partners Tinker from Indianapolis. And let me say, the bean is hitting. We've tried it. It has been distributed to our close circle of VIPs, influencers, and important people. The feedback is, I'm gone off a bean, quote unquote.
We did a taste testing of a few bean blends. There's an Ethiopian, a Colombian. At first, I wasn't worried, but I was like, the coffee is made. There's thousands of cans. It's done. Whether I like it or not, the coffee is made, and we got to sell it. So when I was pleased to pop one open and taste it, and I was like, oh shit, this is actually very good. And Tinker, the coffee company that we made it with, said it is one of their best bean blends that they have ever done. So it is actually good coffee. So thank God it's in 12-ounce cans, and the technology of snap chilling. It's not cold brew. It's they brew it just like a regular hot coffee. They pour it into the cans and snap and seal them off immediately. So all the kind of vapors and oils and magical essence of a hot cup of brewed coffee are all kind of preserved inside of that can. So when you pour it into a glass, it has like a nice little kind of heady foam to it.
Heady foam is one of my favorite UK drill rappers. So thank you for giving him a shout out. Heady foam.
And if you live here in LA, we partnered with the vegan restaurant Burger Lords. Shout out to Fred and also my brother Stewie. They worked with us to develop a special food item to pair with the coffee. So we're going to have an item on the menu on the 20th and the 21st in LA. You can either go to the Burger Lords locations in Highland Park or Chinatown, or you can order it through like Caviar or DoorDash or any of the delivery services, where you can order a Goner combo meal where you get a can of the coffee, we get some hash brown sticks, and then we get our all vegan, How Long Gone sausage McMuffin sandwich. We got the tofu turmeric egg. We have a house-made proprietary vegan sausage. There's some
some of these other podcasts, they would use Impossible. These other podcasts, they might try to use Beyond Meat. We have a proprietary fake meat. That's how crazy this is.
Yeah, and we did some taste testing in the kitchen. We worked on some things, some labs, some things failed, some things succeeded, and we finally got the blend perfectly. So, even if you don't like us as people or hate our podcast and you just are a fat vegan and you want to eat a delicious McMuffin sandwich that you haven't been able to have at McDonald's in many years because you've been eating, some Chica's chips from Whole Foods and slowly gaining weight as a vegan person, this is the breakfast item for you.
This is the breakfast item for you. And the cold brew, the canned coffee, I apologize, will be available. And you'll also be able to get it from the Elemental website for all our listeners elsewhere. And then we will be also partnering with Wild Air in New York for you guys to get it there with another special breakfast item. The mud will be available, and it will be flowing in a single can or 6-pack delivery vessel.
So if you live in LA or New York, you can get it from Burger Lords or from Wild Air, but you can also just order it online from their website, and they'll ship a 6-pack over to you in a little kind of cooled box with the little ice packs in there. I think they'll ship worldwide. Obviously, if you live outside of America, it'll probably cost a fuckload. But
exactly. But yeah, anyway, stay tuned for that. We'll be back with more piping hot podcasting all week long. Jason, next time I talk to you, you'll be in Hawaii, and I'm jealous, but I expect you to have a great time and not to fuck anything up with our podcasting schedule.
I will definitely do my best. Yeah, our next episode we're recording with some fellow elusive podcasters.
Yeah, we're doing a special crossover episode with another I would say coastal elite podcast. Would you, Jason? I would.
Yes, more in the cinematic canon.
Yes, the cinematic universe, but a lot of great guests that are friends of ours, and they also have
cross pollination.
It's cross pollination. We like to chat with other podcast professionals whenever we can.
All right, I'll say it. It's Siskel and Ebert. We're
That's
with
right.
Siskel
Finally,
and Ebert.
look, I know one of them died, but we brought him back. All right. Anyway, how long gone? We will talk to you soon, Jason. Love your work, King. I will talk to you later.
What song should I play us out for, Hawaiian style? Wait, never mind. I've got it. Okay. Bye, Chris.
All right.
Have a great week, and I'll see you on the tennis court. I'll send you my videos.